Hey everyone, this is Charles Mitri from loungeboudoir.com. Today I want to talk to you about the Tokina 24-70 2.8 zoom lens. This puppy right here. In shooting boudoir, I shoot sort of a lot of wide environmental portrait type shots. And I'm currently using the Nikon 18-35 3.5, 4.5 ED lens, which, it's okay, but I wanted something sharper. With my shooting style, I'm on the ground a lot. I'm lying on my stomach shooting with the camera almost on the floor. And for me to be moving back and forth, shifting, wasn't working out very well for me. I wanted to try a zoom lens where I could, position myself in one spot and then just kind of zoom in and zoom out, but still would retain a lot of sharpness. That's why I rented the Tokina 24-70 2.8. I wanted to see how that worked, and I did shoot with this today, actually. I had a shoot today, and I like the lens a lot. It's very sharp. It is hefty. It's about 2.2 pounds, and I thought that would be more of a factor than it actually was. I didn't really notice the weight, and I use a Nikon D800, so it's on a Nikon D800 body. So together that combination is probably 3.2 pounds, something like that. It might have something to do with the fact that I set my camera down a lot because I'm doing a lot of different setups, so it's not constantly in my hand. But the weight really wasn't a factor as much as I thought it would be. So one of the things you have to look at when you're looking at lenses is how do you shoot? What is your method of shooting? For me, like I said, I do very wide environmental portrait type shots, boudoir shots, and then I also do closer in shots. And for that, I usually switch to a 50mm prime. This is the Nikon 50mm 1.8G, which I use a lot. And I also use the 50mm Nikon 50mm 1.8D. They're very similar, very, very similar. There's hardly a difference between the two. This is a shorter profile. But I wanted to see what it would be like to just have one lens on my camera for both the wide environmental shots and then also for the more 50mm type shots. So I'm not constantly switching back and forth. Because I'm looking to buy something, possibly a new lens in the future. And the Tokina worked really well. I liked it a lot. This was rated higher on dxomark.com. They rate a lot of lenses and cameras. Rated higher than the Nikon 24-70, higher than the Sigma 24-70, and also the Tamron 24-70. So I like Tokina. I own another Tokina lens for my Canon 60D that I used to use a long time ago. Very good build quality. This thing is solid as a rock. But if you get it, be prepared to get a little bit of a workout with it. When you're picking out a lens and a camera body, if you're just getting into boudoir, you can't just say, well, I want to buy the best camera and I want to buy the best lens, because that will be the best for me. It may not be the best for you, depending on how you shoot. For example, the Tokina 35mm 1.4 prime is an excellent lens. It's a great lens. But practically, for me, using it in a practical sense doesn't work as well as this zoom lens does. Now, I might be sacrificing a little bit of sharpness, but not noticeably. But to be able to be at one spot and just zoom in and out works better for my workflow with this prime than with this zoom than the prime. So I shoot with two cameras. Now I shoot with the Nikon D800 with my 50mm primes and my 18-35 Nikon, and looking to get a zoom, which I might get this Tokina zoom. And then I also shoot with a mirrorless Sony 6100 currently, which I've been shooting now with for about a year because I'm kind of testing the waters for mirrorless cameras. And I like the mirrorless a lot when I'm shooting in natural light. when I'm shooting dark and moody with natural light, I like the mirrorless cameras a lot because I can see the balance of shadows and light on the back of the viewfinder, and just adjusting the shutter speed will give me the exposure that I want. That really speeds up my workflow when I'm shooting, as opposed to my DSLR when I'm shooting dark and moody and natural light. You know, I have to click, do I like it? No, I adjust one of the parameters, you know, shutter speed, or usually shutter speed, or aperture. Click, do I like it? You know, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That drives me nuts. I don't do that. So the mirrorless really gives me the exposure right there on the back of the camera before you even take the picture. And I like that a lot. Also, when I get up on a ladder, I'm doing a lot of sort of handheld shots where I have to flip the screen so I can see it because my camera's pointing down, and I'm reaching over, and I like the size of, well, I'm filming with it right now, so I can't really show you, but the size of the 6100 is so small, I can just reach out and click, 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 and see what I'm getting from a bird's eye point of view. When you're picking out cameras and you're picking out lenses, you have to take into account sort of how you shoot, your method of shooting. I couldn't do that with my DSLR, hold it like this. I wouldn't be able to see what I was shooting because it doesn't have a tilting lens, the D800. So I find myself using different cameras and different lenses for different setups that I'm shooting. So it's not necessarily the most expensive lens or the latest camera that's going to work for you. You know, the 6100, the Sony, is a crop sensor camera, and I get great images from that. You can't even tell the difference between my DSLR and the Sony images. One's full sensor, one's crop sensor. That's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. And check out all of my boudoir articles on loungeboudoir.com, and I will see you at a future point in the YouTube universe.